So in this video I'll be talking about the Antigravity A1 8K 360 degree drone. This is the Infinity bundle. I'll do a quick unboxing and kind of cover the reasoning why I bought this and kind of cover some of the features. So let's check it out. So let's start with unboxing of this drone and kind of cover a little bit about it. All right, so looking at the bag, it's pretty nice bag overall. There's some stuff in here. Wow, this is a first package drone that I've seen that comes with a pretty good large size manual. So that is pretty slick. I do like that. Quality of the straps and everything is pretty good. I'll take that off later. Let's see how you open this. Now it's got very nice material. It's a mix of kind of like backpack fabric, old style fabric, and looks like a good water resistant back or upper part and back part. Now this has a handle here and there is a back pocket obviously where the manuals were located. And let's see here. You know what? I'm looking at this here. I kind of like the way DJI does their stuff. Oh look, here's a nice logo here, Antigravity logo. Now, I'm not very hot on the Velcro part of the bag. Kind of noisy, to be honest. I do like the latch that they use on the DJI shoulder bags, but again, it's not bad. I think it's pretty good. It is kind of noisy. In the bag, you're going to see a few things. Let's take this out real quick. Seems like everything is nicely snug in here. There's some additional stuff here. I'll kind of cover what is. In fact, we'll just go over with what's here in the upper part of this bag. Oh, look at this. I got that. Looked like a string, but it's more accessories here. So let me take everything out. Again, this is the Infinity bundle that I purchased. It does have the higher capacity batteries, so that's another nice thing about it. Again, you've got some storage here for your extras, and it's a nice mesh type fabric, stretchy, very stretchy fabric. Inside interior is kind of a suede-like fabric material. Not a lot of cushioning on the dividers, but it is Velcro attached. So yeah, the bag is not bad overall. I mean, anytime you get a bag, I think it's a good thing. It does come in handy. Now the accessories that you get along with this is you've got the neck strap here for the battery that you're going to use for your goggles. You've got some spare propellers that I can see. And like the DJI, it looks like they're color coded, so you have an idea of which one goes where. This is kind of a grayish, dark gray color, and this is kind of a blue color. I'll have to see how that lines up on the drone itself, but you do get some spares there. You also get a screwdriver for the propellers, which I kind of like the new DJI design where you kind of have no need for a screwdriver, but that is the other stuff that's in the bag. And then I believe these are actual lens, prescription lens eye pieces. These are, what are they called? I don't even know what they're called exactly, but they're essentially some lens. Should you need to get some prescription lenses, this is what you would use for that. I'll have to see how I find, that for myself, because I do have astigmatism, and this kind of usually calls for, this type of goggle does kind of call for me to get some prescription lenses for that. You also get a power cable here that's going to be for the goggles themselves, and it is a proprietary connector for the the power to the goggles, and it's a USB-C on the other end. Why they didn't go USB-C all the way, I have no idea, but that is what comes with that. You also have a lanyard, and I do like the fact that they label what is supplied here. So again, here's the controller lanyard, essentially wrist strap, which is kind of nice to have, because you're flying this thing. The last thing you want to do is accidentally drop your actual controller. So that's kind of a nice thing. You also have a USB-C to USB-C cable for the transfer of data and also charging as well. So that's kind of nice to have as well. In addition to that, on the Infinity Bundle, you do get, and is this labeled? Well, this one's not labeled, but this happens to be a USB-C and, both Apple. If you look closely, you got the Apple connector here and a USB-C. And what this is you can put your micro SD card in here, and that will allow you to essentially transfer whatever you're recording into your micro SD on the drone itself, which is kind of nice. Just a nice little extra that you get. It's pretty slick. It's nice. These are kind of a silicone rubber material on the ends, the caps, and they're kind of tied here to the actual adapter here, which is kind of nice. I do like this design. It's pretty cool. So it's nice to have on the side. And of course, you also have a lens cleaner cloth. It's always good just to have an extra, which is nice. So those are the extras that were in the bag on the top of the flap. And now let's go through some other items that are here. So the first thing I've got here looks to be the controller itself. And it's a motion controller. So if you've had the Avata, you pretty much have the same thing that comes with the Avata. And that is essentially the controller. Quality-wise, it's pretty cool. And design-wise, compared to the DJI motion controller, it's pretty different. I mean, it is white, and it has a nice modern design to it, almost like a gamer type joystick type of thing, but it's really more of a motion controller without the base, obviously. You do have some functions here that you can use. You've got video recording, camera photos as well. This is kind of a dead stop. You want to stop your drone immediately. You want to rotate your drone around. This is another function that's there. And of course, you've got other buttons here. You've got the CNS, again, sport mode, cinematic mode, and normal mode as well on the side here. And it looks like you've got some other buttons that are programmable. And then, of course, if you want the drone to go forward, you point, and you'll have a pointer on the display of the goggles that will point where you want it to go. And by pressing this trigger, it'll take the drone forward. Now, there is no reverse, which I think is not great. I mean, it's essentially just press the trigger here and it's just go forward. So that's something to keep in mind when using this here. Oh, and here's the power button, by the way, as well here. And on the bottom, you do have the USB-C connector here to charge this here. And then there's that little kind of a loop area here to tie the actual wrist strap as well. And this is just packaging to protect the front here. So that's again, this is the motion controller that comes with the thing. Now, I wish they really had a controller with the sticks. I'm more of a person that would use the sticks more than I would a motion controller. I'm not a fan of it, not that I don't use it. I've got it for the my other drone that I've got, the Neo 2 actually, and the Neo 1, or the Neo and Neo 2. So I've got that motion controller for the DJI Neo as well, and Neo 2. So there you have it. That is that. Let's see what else comes here in the package. And from the looks of it, I've got a couple of things in this bag. All right, so looking at this, we'll cover real quick here. Let's do this one first. So this is the battery for your goggles essentially, and it does come with this little loop here, and what that's for is essentially for your neck strap here, or what they call lanyard, essentially a battery lanyard. And what you're doing essentially is you're putting this onto the lanyard and you just wear the battery on your neck. And in here you've got the USB-C connector right here for the cable, that proprietary cable we were talking about earlier. This one right here. And so you're essentially connecting this here and over to your goggles. There's a power button here as well on the battery itself. Now it does come with the one battery. I don't recall offhand how much time you get out of this battery. I'll note it on the screen once I get that detail for you. And what I did, oh, and by the way, there's also LEDs here. This actually turns on green light. Now I went ahead and got this as part of the Infinity bundle. It does just come with one. But I'm always the kind of person that, you know, for some reason, maybe this battery doesn't, pull that off here. This battery, for some reason, maybe I didn't charge it and I'm out in the field. That's kind of a bad thing. So what I did is I bought an extra one. So I bought the extra Antigravity Vision battery. So it's always good to have an extra one. You never know. Like I said, you may not have charged it the night before and then you're kind of stuck. So like in my case, I went ahead and bought an extra one. Not part of the Infinity bundle since it only comes with one, but again, bought it as a separate item. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, also in here, if we look, we also have the actual essentially charging hub. And it's pretty cool and slick. I do like it. It does let you charge two batteries here on the actual charging hub. But in addition to that, see if I got something out of this. Yeah, I got no power at all from what I can see. But you do have an actual little display screen here, which is kind of different. It's not like the DJI charging hubs where you just got the little LED light. This is actually, will tell you the charging levels, which is nice to be able to see that on this little screen. If I could show you, I'd show you. And in addition to that, back here, just to press, you actually have a little pop-out base that lets you put in your third battery, you know, the one that comes with the drone, because this is the Infinity bundle. This is the Infinity bundle, and it does come with a total of 3 batteries, 2 that are on the hub itself, and of course one that's on the drone. But the overall design of this thing is great. You've got your USB-C connection point here to charge your batteries up. You've got the power button here, and like I said, these batteries aren't charged yet. But I think it's overall it's pretty good design. Here's your battery, just to kind of cover some of the details. It does feel pretty light for being a essentially a high capacity battery, but and I believe this gives you up to about 39 minutes of flight time ideally. Of course, it's probably a little bit less, maybe more in the 36 minute range possibly, but still that's pretty good. And you've got 3 batteries, so that's kind of a good thing to have. All right, so we got that, and let's go through the actually we'll cover that. Let's go through the goggles themselves. And wow, they're really nicely packaged. So this is just more packaging. And you've got some pretty good documentation, which I'll end up checking out later on. Now let's look at the goggles here. So I do like the fact that for your goggles on the actual lens screen displays here, you've got this protection, essentially they're lens caps is what they're called. And it is, again, another rubber silicone type material, probably mostly silicone. And they're, again, meant to cover the lenses. I do like the fact that they have that fabric padding. It helps because when you start to sweat, it's better than just being all kind of a rubber silicone material. Now they have it for the nose piece to kind of limit the amount of light that leaks into your goggles display area, which is kind of a good thing. So that also adds comfort to your nose here, so makes it a lot more comfortable to wear. But it's a cool design. It's a combination of this nice silicone material along with the foam fabric padding for your face. So that's really good overall. Now the strap that goes around, which is your essentially your head strap, essentially, it's pretty good. I do like the fact that it is adjustable, you know, Velcro based. It does have a stretchy fabric on the side, which is kind of nice. Not on this side, but on the one side. This side, I believe, is just the cloth. Now both sides do have their Velcro, so you can replace it. You can order a replacement as well. It is available. Your antennas do come up. They do not look like they're removable, but they do pop up, which is kind of nice. It looks like there's a nice little cool looking vent area here for your goggles. Should they get foggy, you have the ability to have them ventilate as well. You've got a camera here in front, which I believe is the black and white camera that allows you to actually see what's in front of you. And then you got your diopter adjustments here. Let's take if you look here real closely, you can adjust how far or how close your lenses are inside. You also have the ability to adjust the diopter setting, which is kind of nice. You rotate this and it changes it. If you notice in here, as I rotate this knob at the bottom, it is changing the diopter setting. So that's kind of a cool thing too. Here you do have a USB-C connection point, and from the looks of it, it looks like it's got a symbol just for data transfer. But this is your actual connection point here for that one proprietary cable for your power. So this is the side here, which is the left side, and that's going to be for your power cord that goes to the battery that's going to be on the lanyard or neck strap. And that's where you would place that, not the USB-C connection here. You got an up-down button on the right side here, and then you also have a button on this side. And in fact, by the way, I believe this button here is what it's going to let you switch between seeing what's on the drone and seeing what's in front of you in black and white. So that's kind of cool. I think I like that. Now you do have two screens here. You do have one that is going to be the actual display. So if you have somebody with you that can actually see what you're looking at, which is kind of cool. I do like that kind of modern, spacey, alien kind of look to it that you get out of this pair of goggles. So that's another cool thing about it. I do like that design too. Again, really good quality. I'll say that definitely it's not cheap in any ways. Like DJI, this is definitely a very good quality set of goggles. Now let's look at this here as well. What's interesting about this is you essentially have both the shoulder bag, and in addition to that, you got a carry case for the drone. Unlike the DJI drones, which usually have essentially a harness to protect your lanyard, this one actually comes with an actual case, and I'm assuming that it does that because of the fact that when you get into this guy here, when you take this out, you've got the one lens here at the top and the one lens here at the bottom. It's not like your typical, DJI drone gimbal. It's essentially, again, keep in mind, this is going to be 360-degree view, so you really don't need that gimbal capability because it's essentially, you're recording everything 360 degrees. The cool thing about this is it's kind of like the Mini 5 in size. Very small design. It's essentially opens up just like the DJI drone, the mini drone. The one thing that you want to make sure, even when it's off, I would definitely make sure that you get the little legs. Now these automatically go in and out or up and down during the time you fly, these little legs here. But if it's off and you want to put it on the table, I would definitely put this down. You don't want to damage these, now the actual lenses. Now, like in the X5, the Insta360. Now keep in mind the Antigravity is kind of like the Insta360 product, labeled as an anti-gravity product because it's a drone, right? They do have replacement lenses here like in the X5, and I think that's kind of a great thing because you never know. You could easily end up scratching this. Now it is an accessory you can buy separate. It does not come in the bundle here, and I don't believe it comes with any of the bundles that are available as well. Now, internal storage on this guy, I believe it's about 30 gigs of storage, which is kind of a nice thing in case you forget your micro SD card. And so you do have, again, in the back here, the micro SD card slot. You also have the USB-C port as well to charge and also for data transfer. There's some ventilation in the back here. You do have some sensors in the bottom. You also have an LED light so you can light up as it's going down. Like let's say you're doing a evening video, you'll have the ability to turn this light on as it lands, which is kind of a nice thing. Now going back to the part here, it doesn't look like it's a gimbal, but it looks like it's something that stabilizes it as it flies. So it's essentially what it is. You do have some sensors here as well as down here for obstacle avoidance. So it does have that capability, which is kind of a good thing for this size of drone. So that's kind of a really nice thing. So that's really good. Again, the propellers here, these are screwed in, which is why you have the little screwdriver that comes with it. Now, it does have a little notation here to pull the legs down, the front legs here, so that you don't damage the lenses. But again, you do have the option to buy a spare just in case you break it. You can replace it yourself and not have to send it off for replacement. This is a little light, kind of the green orange kind of light that you get on the front. And really that's about it, guys. Overall, this looks pretty good. This, by the way, this looks more like a plastic. You see, they did that here. This is what I was talking about on the shoulder bag. So you've got this little nice locking latch here. I wish they would have done that for the shoulder bag, but you know, like I said, glad to have the bag, can't complain. So there you have it, guys. This is the unboxing of the Antigravity A1 Infinity Bundle drone. And Infinity because you get the high capacity batteries. You get a total of 3, which, you know, was what I was looking for. Looks like more shipment stuff here. But I don't see that this powers. You got a power button at the top. This is what the Antigravity drone is all about. And why did I buy it? Well, you know, I bought it because, again, I do have the X5 camera. And I really like what that camera does. And I wanted something similar for a drone. When I heard that Insta360 was coming out with a drone with a 360-degree camera, I said, hey, that sounds like something I probably want to look into. I do like the quality of this thing, and boy, is it small. I mean, really, it is a very small drone. You know, once you fold this up, like I said, it's like the Mini 5. It's just essentially a very small size drone. I still have the feet down, by the way. But again, like I said, it just fits in the palm of your hand. So that is definitely a nice little drone. So again, you know, I bought it because it does that. I went with the Infinity Bundle because I wanted 3 batteries, which is great. What other reasons would I buy this as opposed to, let's say, if I have the Mini 5, do I really need to get this? Essentially, no, but definitely it's got some features there that are interesting. You should be able to fly this, and actually, as you move your head, it's not going to be moving the drone, but rather you'll be able to look at in a 360 degree. You'll be able to look in front of you, behind you, down below, to your top, to the top, to the left, to the right, just by moving your head around as if you were just looking at it normally, you know, without the goggles. And so that's going to be kind of a cool capability that I want to definitely entertain. And also there's ability to do videos in 360 degree where you can actually put out the video on YouTube, for example, and actually have the user watching the video actually control whether to look up, down, left, right, all around, which will be an interesting thing to check out. Now you are using the, essentially the Insta360 studio editor that they provide to do the videos, being that it's like the X5 videos, it's the same concept. And again, it is an 8K camera, 8K 30 frames per second. Realistically, you're dealing with two cameras essentially. You got the top camera, bottom camera, 4K total of 8K 30 frames per second. You've got that capability. So that's the other reason why I got this. I really do look forward to that. Now I do wish and I hope that in the future they do decide to come out with an FPV-like controller with sticks. Your traditional controller with sticks like you do have with the Avata 2. This is essentially a 360-degree drone that's also FPV capable. Now, out of the box, it's going to function as on a normal or the standard setting. And you do have the option of changing that on the screen to FPV mode. So you'll be able to get more special effects with that. Essentially, initially, you want to start with the standard, mode to begin with. Price-wise, this is overpriced. I think it could have been less expensive. I really do think even for the Infinity bundle, you were in the $1,700 range. I think it's up there. It's pretty pricey, I think. Another thing, by the way, if you are going to buy this, I did go ahead and buy an extra accessory, and that is the landing pad. Now, it was hard to get, and I lucked out. I found one, and I went and just bought it before it sold out. Now, I do have a landing pad, but I think this one was made specific for this. I'll have to see if there is a difference. So, but in any case, they do sell the actual landing pad. It does fold up. As you can see, it's already all folded up here. In fact, we can open this up and look and see. There is your landing pad. It is all black. It doesn't look like it's a two-sided thing. Oh no, it is. You got the blue color here, and on the other side you got the orange color. Kind of slick, but I do like the fact that it's easy fold. This actually does fold down to a little bit smaller size than my PGY Tech landing pad, but that's pretty cool to have. I also bought, as an additional accessory, was the propeller guards. Now, do I need the propeller guards? Technically, I don't. But if I'm doing indoor stuff, having the propeller guards, I think, is a good thing. You do have the obstacle avoidance, but indoors, I think having these propeller guards is going to be a good thing to have. So I went ahead and got them just in case I do want to use that. Again, take care of your drones. I don't get these free. I don't get these sent by the manufacturer to test out. Hey, but if you're listening, Antigravity, if you ever want me to test out your stuff, you can send me one and I can put it through the ringer. But in my case, I bought this by myself, and so I figured I'd take care of it. There you have it, guys. I hope this kind of helps you out in seeing what the Infinity bundle package comes with, and essentially getting an idea of what kind of drone. Great quality, can't complain. They really did a good job on this. Same thing for the goggles. I think it's pretty cool. It is different than the ones for DJI, the Goggles 3, but definitely I like the materials and everything. Very good quality. But there you have it, guys. Hope this video does help. And I do appreciate it if you guys click on the like for this video, and please subscribe if you haven't. That will also be helpful on my end. And thanks for watching, and have a good day.